Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where last episode we got guilds for the Sinhala culture, and now it looks like men-at-arms and castle bailies is what is being grabbed for that. Of course, that doesn't really help us on the mainland because all of these counties are Tamil culture, and that's fine. We do see an additional building immediately popped in here while we were building our wind furnaces, I think. It does generate tax, so it's okay. Now, I want to check here, do we actually want it to be this? It's probably fine. It's probably fine. Out over here, we're currently working on farmsteads, and we've got an empty holding structure. This is likely going to become blacksmiths. Almost certainly. We do still have several buildings here that can generate raw gold resources, but blacksmiths is probably the most valuable. What is 4% of 7 at this moment? Well, it would be 0.21, right? We'll check that. Times 0.04? 0.28. Yeah, that's correct. I multiplied wrong in my head. But that is 0.28 gold if we were to build this. So that would be more gold on the first level, anyway, than hunting grounds. It would be more gold than walls and towers, and more gold than hospices. It would be less gold than cattle pastures. So we may end up going for cattle pastures here. That said, as we get this built up, it'll get up to 32% by the end. And that's going to be very significant. And it will boost the power level of those pigs. So there is that to consider. Now, we do need to tick forward here and continue to work on our conversion up over here, which is going to get finished eventually. I do expect these other two conversions to go faster, so that'll be fine. We can summon a physician for sure. We lost some legitimacy because of this plague, which is unfortunate. 290 gold. Oof. Well, I'm not happy about it, but here it is. Okay, now where is this disease at? Oh, that's very significant. Okay, we're going to enter seclusion. Lock the door. We lose more legitimacy, which is, of course, somewhat painful, but it'll have to do. And we have measles. So this pox is a type of measles. Gotcha. We are now dying. Okay. Do no more than what is necessary. We have reduced disease symptoms. We're no longer dying. Okay. So I'm glad we paid for the physician at this point. That's for sure. Okay. Well, we'll just have to wait it out. We're kind of on the outskirts of this at this moment. Our son died of the measles, gaining us 48 stress. Okay, so how many sons do we have? Many. We're fine. We're not having any problem there. So let's grab some additional collect taxes effectiveness for the time being. We need to make our way out of debt. Okay, so our player heir lost measles. Our wife now has measles. Okay, we're no longer having measles. There's no point in continuing at this moment to have seclusion. So we'll emerge from seclusion. There we go. And that's all fine. It had already made its way into our court by the time we did the seclusion. To be honest, we were too late. We should have just not bothered with it at all. But it's fine. So that's fine. And we are, at this point... Oh, we are sad that our wife has recovered from measles. Okay. Apparently we don't like her very much. We do need to probably get suppressed unrest here. We'll take that. We need all the gold we can get. We're working our way back out of debt at this moment, and that seems fine. Now keep in mind, this plague is dropping our development level in all of the affected provinces, which is all of our provinces. That is certainly unfortunate. But it's not nearly as bad as it is out over this way. So there is that. Like, we can see here that the development... Okay, we had another son die of heart failure. Okay, at the age of 26. He didn't die of measles. He just died of heart failure. Okay, so now we have some stress, and we have a torrential grief. We could gain frozen grief. That's probably not a good thing to do. Yeah, probably not a good thing to do. That'll be forever. We could become melancholic, which is also not ideal. Or we could turn to drugs, which is also not ideal. Those are our options. I'm going to take frozen grief. It's not going to be great. It will cut our life somewhat short. That said, we're probably going to die within the next 10 years anyway. So that's relatively fine. We can definitely get our courtier here assigned in as our spy master. So, we're going to have an issue when we die. And that issue is we're going to have a lot of locations that we lose. We may want to focus for now. I'm just thinking here. This guy's a powerful vassal, but do we care? Not really. I'm going to put our son and caravan master in here. So that'll be fine. So at this point, what I'm thinking about is I'm thinking that we might want to just bulk up our military and put our gold into that for the moment. And I think it's not a terrible idea. So I'm going to boost up our pikemen once, and we just want to take our pikemen and our trebuchets to max. I don't want to boost up our number of heavy infantry for right now, because we want to replace those with elephants. But that's expensive. Very, very expensive. So that will, of course, be a problem. Now, the plague is, at this moment, almost gone. Almost. It still exists here within our realm. But it will be going away very soon. Our development is recovering, and that looks good for the time being. But yeah, I definitely want to boost up our pikemen here. We'll get those maxed. And then we want to do the same with our mangonels at this moment. So these are, of course, going to be 66 gold per level. So that is going to cost us a fair amount to get that up. But the most expensive thing is going to be the elephants. No doubt about that. We're going to be a kind of cavalry-heavy army for the moment. But I feel like that is our best way forward at this moment. So that should be fine for the moment. And with the maxed out siege weapons, we should be able to siege very quickly. But not all of these will be stationed. We need to keep that in mind. In fact, most of them will not be stationed. So that is understood. We are losing piety at this moment, and our farmsteads have been constructed, which is nice. We can demand payment from our son. He's never going to have enough gold to pay. I'm just going to do it. That'll be fine. And we can definitely boost up our mangonels once. Do we want a sculptor's workshop for piety? Do we want a smithy investment for army gold maintenance reduction and holding taxes? And the sculptor's workshop would also be holding taxes. This is a guarantee. This is a 75% chance, or we can just take 45 gold, and that's what I'm going to do. I want to invest this money into our mangonels, which are now size 6. Sure. Seems fine. So next month, we can boost this up to size 7, and 2 months after that, we can take it to size 8. Apparently, one of our wives died. Okay. We only gained 25 stress because we're callous. So apparently we liked that wife. Our current primary spouse is good stewardship, so we don't actually care stat-wise. So let's boost up our mangonels to size 7, and here in 2 months, we can get 1 additional mangonel size. And that will be absolutely fantastic. That'll put us on track to getting our elephants. But for now, I'm just kind of dialing back on our investment in our economy. We will get back to it, but I want to get this built up first because we need a very, very strong core of power when we die. Someone is scheming against our granddaughter? She's 8. That's rude. We'll let the traitor be known to all. Unfortunately, she's not within our realm, so we can't put her in jail. But that'll do for now. Okay, so at this moment, we're maxed out on our mangonels. Now what we need is 2,400 gold. That's a lot of gold. But that's what we need right now. So 2,400 is an extremely significant investment. I would really like to put that money into buildings. Like, I would really like to put that money into buildings. One thing we may want to do is just grab cattle pastures level 1 here, just to have that building slot be full. We are going to take the 150 gold. So we essentially just got 150 free gold that we stole from, I think, this guy or some neighboring vassal. It's fine. I'm sure he'll be okay with it. So that sounds good, but what we really need is enough gold to at least get one level here. I'm going to disband the armored footmen here, and we're going to create a new men-at-arms regiment, and it's going to be war elephants. They're so expensive, but they also give us siege progress, and they're so powerful. Like, look at these stats. And they counter the exact types of people that we are currently weak to. So that sounds fantastic. We're just waiting for the gold here. It will be another 2 months. So that sounds good. As soon as we've got that, we'll get this going. So now we're 1 month tick away. Our gold seems to be coming in on like the 21st again. I don't know. It kind of fluctuates around when that comes in. But we'll get that done, and now this needs to be stationed up in Calicut. Perfect. Plus 212 additional damage? That's insane. Okay, that's absolutely wild. I didn't realize wind furnaces had that station men-at-arms damage boost. That's insane. Okay. That's wild. No, I will not grant this land. So that sounds fine. We do need a lot more gold, but we at least have our war elephants here, right? So we have a stewardship perk available. We are going to take cutting cornerstones. So that'll be fine for now. We would very much like to get back to building, but I feel like we really need to invest this money right now. No, I don't want to spend money on a fishing pool. Get out of here. So we need to get these war elephants built. Man, that's so good of stats. That is insanely good stats. They're also incredibly expensive. But at this moment, we're pushing 4,000 soldiers. By the time we get this done, we're going to have 7 times 25, so that's going to be like 175 additional war elephants. The war elephants have incredible stats, but there's not a lot of them, right? And that's absolutely understood. We do want to boost this up more, but we need gold for that. The real question is, when can we sell trivial titles again? Well, the answer is we're lacking the prestige for that. So one thing we might want to consider doing, now that we have this Convert Faith finished, is we might want to consider coming down and grabbing this. So working on Fabricating a Claim right down here. Now, we absolutely could work on our conversions here and here, but I want to hold this personally for the moment. There's a lot of holding slots to build here, and I want to do so. So we'll get that claim fabricating, and in the meantime, all of our gold that we're making is currently earmarked to boosting up our elephants. These are going to be so strong. So we'll have absolutely no problem dealing with this guy, even with his irrelevant ally. Completely and totally irrelevant. Okay. What's going on here? Okay. This guy was thinking about coming... Oh. Is he going to siege us? 150 prestige. Or 5% holding tax, 75% chance. Done. Great return. Fantastic. If he attacks us, we will defend ourselves. But if he's just passing through, that's fine. And he appears to just be passing through. Okay. So that seems fine. We can boost up our elephants again, so we'll take that up to size 2. We're now 25% done with our elephants. So that sounds good. We'll just continue to work on that, and we can see that this claim fabrication is going pretty well. We know that we're going to get a pretty decent chunk of this. Like, this is going to cost us a pretty decent chunk of gold, right? I believe it was like 91 or something like that. So that's definitely noted. We'll probably have the gold on hand for that, though. That should be fine. Hopefully the timing works out well there. So this up over here, I don't really care about. This war is irrelevant to us. We're not participating in it in any meaningful way. We're instead scheming internally over here. Ooh. Do we want a large cattle herd? 80% chance. And we were successful. Fantastic. So we managed to get ourselves some extra development growth in our capital. So we can see our development is currently going up by 0.4. We definitely suffered some setbacks in our development from that disease, but with any luck, we'll be able to recover from that without any real problem. Now, our health is poor, and we're not going to be getting better. We're only going to be getting worse here. So this guy, his days are numbered. This is our player heir. He's already 34, and he already has one child. Well, one son. Okay. He could definitely use a spare. But we'll see about doing something about that a bit later on. So for now, this is absolutely fine. We are going to be getting ourselves an additional chunk of war elephants here in about 2 months. So yeah, 1 more month tick here, and that'll be absolutely fine. And then we've got this coming in. We should have enough gold to do that pretty quickly, or at the very least, we'll come out of debt quickly. Let's get the war elephants going there. And we're going to have to fight with this level of war elephant, probably. Which is fine. The stats on this are still absurd. We can see that these are expensive to reinforce as well, and that's not surprising at all. So who is this? This is also someone scheming against our granddaughter, and we'll just have to let the traitor be known to all. We have no other option there. So that seems fine. We can demand a payment from our son, which we will do. That's 10 gold. And yes, see it done. That's only 84 gold. Interesting. So we aren't technically in debt right now. We'll just have to wait for the month tick. There we go. We're no longer in debt. And now we can declare war on this guy, pressing this claim. And that seems absolutely fine. Their military strength is similar to ours. I strongly disagree. We've got a numerical advantage, and we've got a quality advantage. We can't declare this without using a hook on our liege due to the realm's laws. I didn't realize he changed the laws. Interesting. So we need to get a hook on our liege then. If we offer to join the war, that's not going to work. What else can we do? We could just claim his title. We would need 1,500 prestige. For that to really happen, we'd need to bank ourselves up quite a lot of prestige. That's something we can do. For now, I think what we need to do, since we can't prosecute this war internally, I think what we need to do instead is we need to simply work up our military, as we have been, and then work up our economy some more. And just bide our time. Once our economy is worked up, which is very close to being maxed, once our economy is worked up, then we'll be in a position where we can definitely make an easy claim on this guy. And I think that's what we need to do. So for now, I think that's fine. The real question is, are we good enough on the elephants for our succession at this moment? Because if we think we're good enough on the elephants, then we're better off to invest in our economy right now. But if we don't think we're well enough off on our elephants, then problems ensue. I think we probably are. We're going to take the prestige here. Now, we may not survive long enough to actually make a claim on the throne. That's fine. We'll just work up our prestige a little bit, and we can always sell titles if we decide to. Like if we think we're about to die, and we have 500 prestige. So that's all fine. And I think that we should definitely be working right now on boosting up our income. So that means we should be building specifically in Mahal. We should be building that. And then here, We don't have anything to build unless we have access to this now. We do have the battlements innovation in Tamil culture at this moment. So that is good. We're going to take professional workforce. And we have died. Okay. What timing? Well, that's fine. At this moment, this is better than I expected it to be. We have 2 titles. Fascinating. We're going to take Stewardship Wealth Focus, obviously, and we need to get ourselves... Well, what we need to do first of all, I'm just going to go through and make these initial assignments like this. And we need to... Our player heir is unmarried. Yeah, that needs to change. You'll do. And we need to immediately begin title revocations here, if we can. So we need to revoke this guy's title. He has an 89% chance of success. Now, this is an act of tyranny, and our subjects will lose 20 opinion of us. That's okay. We want to get this done as soon as possible, and we're not going to have, like, count-level subjects anyway, so it doesn't really matter all that much. So let's do this. 89% chance of success. Hopefully he agrees to that. And he did. So that's a good sign. Now we need a new marshal, and it will be this guy. Now we want to do the same with this lad. We want to revoke this title. He has a 0% chance. Let's go check this guy. He has a 100% chance. So that's very clean. So he's just going to give us that back. Okay, apparently this lady who was rivals with our previous ruler for a while has rivaled us again. Sure. So our other brother gave us back Mahal, and all we need now is to get access here. Now this guy, he doesn't have anyone who can help him. He's not going to accept this, but we're going to revoke his title, and we're going to raise up all of our forces. We want our war elephants to be re-stationed over in Calicut, and we want our Pakes to be re-stationed over in Mahal for those sweet, sweet stat boosts. We're going to have our rally point be here, and we're going to raise all because he's guaranteed to decline this. We're apparently working on murdering one of our brothers. Okay. I don't really care about it. It's fine. So this guy declares war on us, which we fully expected. We're heading in. And he can't win this. He simply cannot. So we're net negative at this moment with our troops raised, which is not surprising. And we should have lost our claim over here. Okay, so that's all fine. And this siege is going to be completed very quickly. We're not surprised about that. We've got much, much more numerous siege weapons. So that seems fine. This war's over. Okay, so we'll enforce those demands and disband our troops. We can now come in here and we can revoke his title, which we can do without any negative malices. There we go. So that looks good. We've now got Colum under our control, but because we had to conquer that, that of course means that we need to have a marshal increase control level down here in Venadu. There we go. So that's underway. Up in Calicut, we're at 72 because that was a successful revocation, and 71 here. Okay. So those control levels are going to need some work. No doubt about that. We're above our domain limit, which is currently 4, and our spouse has only 6 stewardship. If we put her on managed domain, does that bring us up to 5? The answer is no. So we're going to need to go spouse shopping. Okay. You'll do. Were you married to our father? You were. Maybe not on that front. Okay. This is 2 less on the skill level, but that seems a little bit better. It doesn't really matter. All we need is 1 domain limit. So this should be fine. So now she's going to have to be elevated up to be our primary spouse. And we did lose legitimacy for that, but that's understood. That puts us at 5 out of 5. That's acceptable. Okay, so at this point, we can do a ransom, which we're going to do for 10 gold. We have disabled buildings in the Sakana of Venadu, but that should no longer be a thing. There we go. That now ticks over. Perfect. And we now at least have some amount of income here. Now, I want to hop over to... Well, we want to save up our money to upgrade our castles that are over here. That's what we want more than anything. Our capital castle is probably the first that we want. So we need 261 gold for that. Our gold income is quite low at this moment. So that is understood. But our control level here in Kojim is actually going up a lot. Hang on, that's going up a whole lot. This guy had very high skill level. 20 months left on that. 2.86. Remarkable. That's very remarkable. So up here, this is only going up by 0.55, and this is going up by 0.6. Both of those will be beneficial. We'll get there eventually on both of them, but I think that Venadu is going to hit 100 before they do. So that's fine. We did lose some stress there. That seems okay. And we can station a men-at-arms regiment. Right, our light horsemen need to be stationed down in Kajam. And this is currently elephant traps. Again, this is all created to be economic. We're going to be changing our military duchy to be up over here eventually. This is going to become our military duchy. So that's fine. But this is all okay for now. We're not trying to optimize our men-at-arms yet. We'll get there. So for now, this is all looking good. We've got 334 gold. We're at about half the income that our father was, which is unfortunate, but not surprising considering where we are in wealth focus, right? So that's understood. We are actually gaining piety, but our monthly income is definitely not as high as we would like. Our liege's war ended, and that's fine. We don't care about it. It's completely and totally irrelevant at this moment. So I would like to get this keep upgraded. We are unfortunately still a number of months away from getting that done, but at least our homestead's finished in Mahal. So this is definitely an upgrade that we can do that's cheaper and would get us more money flowing in. But for the moment, I think I'd rather work on these castle upgrades. Because these castle upgrades, that's going to be 0.3 gold per month. But also, look at that station men-at-arms damage and toughness. And the station siege weapon effectiveness, as well as the levy boost. All of that is very, very useful. We have 1179 prestige also. That's a lot of prestige. We're going to be able to claim our liege's throne this life, most likely. So that's good to know. We're going to get our keep going here. So that's going to be 2 months away, I think. 3 months, actually. 3 month ticks. Okay. So we'll have that very, very soon, regardless. But yeah, we're going to be going for our liege's title fairly soon. We can actually just about take him. We probably could take him. But we'd want to build up our forces a little bit more before we actually go for that. We are still, like, 325 away from having enough prestige. So that'll take some time. 325 months is how many years? Or rather, 1.4? Okay, pulling up a calc. So 313 divided by 1.3 gives us 240 months divided by 12. That's about 20 years. I mean, that's a viable amount, even if we get no prestige events. Fascinating. So we're about to hit max control level on Kolim. That is now maxed. So up in Calicut, we're at 85. In Mahal, we're at 86. So we're going to hop down over here and increase our control in Calicut. That will be good. And we're going to need to build additional castles. We need a bunch of them. 3, to be precise, which is going to be about 1,200 gold in total. And, of course, we'd like to max out our war elephants before we go after our liege's throne as well. But once we have our liege's throne, then we're going to be in a position where we can just take back this. And that's going to be the goal. But our domain limit is going to be an issue. For sure. So that is noted. We might take Tamil culture at that moment, and that's probably not a bad idea, actually. Let's look at the culture here. Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. There's a scheme at court. Shocking. So up in Calicut, we're going to be maxed out here very, very soon. That's good. What is this ward? My impressive vassal. Oh, he likes us. Okay. Well, probably not for long, considering our plans. So there's that. We can declare war on this guy. Reclaim Relics War. This is a terrible idea. We are, of course, not going to do this. That's just kind of wild that we can do that. Okay. So that's all fine for now. We have 191 gold. We have a stewardship perk available, and we're going to take golden obligations. Not that that helps us that much immediately, but that does get us to some useful things later on. So that's all fine. Unfortunately, the claim that we had here died with our father, and that's all there is to it. There's not very much we can do about that. But what we can do, of course, is continue to build up our economy, which also continues to build up our military. Our military is very strong relative to our land. No doubt about that. We just finished increasing county control up in Calicut. How are things looking in Mahal? We could increase this a little bit faster. We wouldn't get too much out of it, but it's okay. Do we care about this? Not really. I don't care. For the moment, I just want to keep chilling. We are going to want to claim our liege's title, but if I had 1,500 prestige right now, I wouldn't do it at this moment. Because we're going to be better off to wait a little bit longer. Oh, our liege is converting the Thakana of Venambad. That's convenient. I actually do want to come convert up in Aranad as well, so let's get that going. Let's get that out of the way. So that all seems good. Who died? Oh, our rival. Oh, okay. It's about time she died. Apparently, the feud is back. I thought we ended the feud, but okay. I guess they unburied the hatchet. Call to war. A holy war for the Thakana of Lujava. Where is this? Why? Is this because of our marriage? Okay, apparently we're in this holy war. I don't want to do anything in the holy war. We're not going to raise our forces because those are expensive. And we want to put that money into other things, right? So that's all fine for now, but we're just going to chill for the moment. We need to get these castles built, and we need to get them built quickly. Quickly. I just noticed it is way past time to put a cut in here. I've not looked at the clock for like 15 minutes. That's exciting. You can always tell when I'm getting into something because of that. This has been interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.